Hello everybody at Enchanted Emerald. This is Melissa bringing you another card pull, and this is going to be for today, Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. So as you're hopping on, let me know. Say hi. If you're catching me on the replay, don't hesitate to hashtag replay down in the comments so that I know that you are watching, because I love to know who is watching the videos. So as always, if you feel inclined to share the video, if you like, share, and comment below that you have shared, I will enter you in the drawing for Wednesday, for tomorrow. I will be doing the drawing for those who have entered to win the free reading. So as we get started here, we have the Ten of Pentacles. This comes out of the traditional Rider-Waite deck, and so with this, I really feel as though we have a feeling of like a cup runneth over feeling. So like everything is just peachy keen, hunky-dory, everything's beautiful energy here. And what I was shown with this is like, you know, the Indy Cup, the racing, and so you feel like you've made it, you've finally made it. And I feel like, you know, I was shown like a trophy, and it's like you're holding it up and you're super happy, and you feel like you've gotten through this championship division. You might have been paired with like all of these amazing people who had really awesome skills in this, getting through this race, okay? But there is a notion here that it's time to be mindful also, right? We have the moon on the bottom of the deck. There's some secrets, some things that you need to know. And so with this, it's a time to understand that you know, you might feel, because you've been put in this category, maybe placed in this category by other people, maybe not necessarily by yourself. Maybe you're feeling like these are my equals and everybody is my equal in this realm, but maybe you're kind of placed on a pedestal by other people. So it's important here for you to just be mindful of what category you're putting yourself in, or allowing others to put you in a certain category, because even though you might be placed in this championship division and you might have this trophy, it doesn't mean that you are, you know, perhaps any better than anybody else. Maybe just that, you know, the dice kind of fell in your favor at that point in time with the karmic tide. And so, you know, it's really like, really our own opinions and how we perceive things is really, really important. And that's really what's coming into play here, okay? So understanding that there's this like push and pull, and I'm really feeling like there is this like feeling of like I put a spell on you, right? And so where you might have been inclined to push people away at one point in time, you might get the tide turning around where you're finding that you need this person. So that's why I'm saying just be mindful of what's happening, this dynamic that's created, because I do feel like there is going to be some things where you're going to find where, like, I hear this phrase from Spirit, which is like, we hold these truths to be self-evident. And so you're not necessarily going to have any proof of anything. You're just going to feel the feelings. You're going to have to follow your own intuition and understanding that things aren't always as they seem, and like what you think that you know is going to kind of be called into question here, right? And so it's very important that you decide for yourself, right? It's very individualized, and what is going to be right for you is not necessarily going to be right for somebody else. And so what we understand here is that what's happening day to day, like, that doesn't even matter. This day-to-day stuff is just bringing you different lessons to change your perspective. None of this even matters, right? Because we have to look at the big picture issues, right? There's this grand design, this master plan, and this is all being played out. So we've got to look at the bigger vision and what the strategy is to get you where you want to be. Okay, and so I feel like this, it's like this like blooming onion. See, when I talk about like how we learn and how we grow, it's like peeling an onion, right? Like each layer, it's deeper and deeper truth that we understand of ourselves. And hi Jody, thank you for hopping on. It's deeper and deeper every time we learn a lesson. It could be the same lesson, but then you learn something on a deeper level, or you get a different perspective each time that lesson comes in. And so that's what I feel with this, is that big strategy in looking at the grand scheme of things, is that different situations and things like that it's gonna offer you a different perspective, okay? And so you might be up here with the trophy right now. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be down here tomorrow, right? Because you never know. Things are changing all the time. And so understanding that there is a need for you to kind of diversify things in your life. Maybe spending time with different walks of life. This is exactly what Spirit said, walks of life. And so all walks of life are going to be affected by all the different tides of the karma turning all the time. And so I feel as though, you know, it's very diversified and very spread out here. Like everybody's going to be affected by this. And I do get an overall general feel that it's going to be this like spare me the details type of feel, right? Like don't feed me the lies. The lies, you know, there are secrets that are going to come out. This is on the bottom of the deck. And, you know, it's going to be like you're going to be so over it. You're not going to want to hear any of it. You're going to be done. And you know, and so you're just going to try to be forward focused, right? Which is great, right? You're like, okay, there's nothing we can do about changing this past, and this is where we are. And so there's going to be an overall sense of like, okay, now we're all on an equal level, and where do we go from here? And so going forward, this is what we need to do. And what I feel with this is this general purging, right? This big cleanse, right? Where all of the past energy, these karmic bonds, all of that is starting to break away. And so where you once were in competition with other people, or maybe you were acting out of need, or maybe you were in survival mode, you were like acting out of feeling like you had to, right? Rather than out of a desire or what you felt like you were called to do, it's going to shift now. And so your focus is going to be shift. And so you've gotten where you are today based on those patterns, but now we're shifting our focus entirely to our inner world, right? So we're going to use our inner world to be able to maintain our outer world. And so it's going to take minimal effort, but it does seem really hard at first because you just don't understand it. And so it's like not, I've got to go do this, I've got to go do this, I've got to go do this. It's going to be a state of flow, right? And so when we talk about, I mentioned in my reading the other day about the inner tube, and you're on the inner tube of the manifestation river and you're going with the flow, but you have these things that kind of weigh you down, these thoughts, these things, these limiting beliefs and everything that kind of weighs your tube down, and you go really slow down the manifestation river with that. So it's about letting all of that go and understanding that that doesn't serve you. And so challenging those beliefs in order to really release them. And so when you start challenging those beliefs and you choose to believe something different and you replace with different affirmations and things like that, your tube gets a little bit lighter and you start to go a little bit faster and you start manifesting really great. And so then you start to, you know, really start to manifest out of like flow and faith and all of these wonderful things. And when I talk about manifesting, it's just making things happen in your external world with the internal world. And so that's this really beautiful shift that we're going to be happening, you know, it's going to be happening. And so it's gently refocusing the mind, that, you know, to remind ourselves that we are very beautiful, magnificent beings, and we have a lot of power within us to do all of these wonderful things. So pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to who you're surrounding yourself with, right? Pay attention to what you're surrounding yourself with. It's like we're very particular maybe with what we feed ourselves, our physical bodies with, right? We don't like Brussels sprouts or whatever, however that resonates for you. You know, so maybe be a little bit more particular about what you're feeding your mind. What are you reading? What are you watching on television? And challenging that too. What you know, you see the news or you're reading the news, or just questioning. And that's a healthy thing, right? To question, is that something true that somebody is posting on Facebook or whatever? So just really allowing yourself to be, hi Rebecca, thanks for hopping on. Allowing yourself to stand in your own authentic truth, because again, it goes back to, and I thought that this was really great, how Spirit brought up that we hold these truths to be self-evident, kind of like the you know, Abraham Lincoln, and in everybody being equal. And so when we hold them to be self-evident, It's about, understanding what we know to be true for ourselves, right? Because what our truths are going to be different than what somebody else's truth is, right? Because we all have a magnifying glass of our own experiences that we've been through in our life. And so when we go through, even if we're going through the same situation with somebody else, they're going to view it differently than us because we've got different experiences under our belt. And that's okay. Just meet them where they're at. And so that's what we really need to be doing, and not understanding, or not judging somebody else for what they're seeing or feeling, or, with that experience as well, because everybody will process their own emotions the way that they're supposed to and get to the other side of that. So we all have the potential for this beautiful, wonderful wellness, abundance, beautiful energy within us. And then on the other side of it, we have this energy of like this illness and despair. It's about allowing yourself to choose how you want to feel. It's a flow, and it's mastering that flow. And so I pulled from the, this is the Abraham Hicks, the Health and Law of Attraction deck, which is really great. Are you channeling my brain lately? Yeah. It seems that way. I think there's a great duality, and there's a big fight lately. I think, especially with me, I'm sure probably with everybody else as well. Yeah. To keep ourselves in a state of flow, in a state of feeling really good. Because when we're in that state of feeling really good, great things happen. And then, we allow ourselves to get caught up in, some anxiety about something that's going on. And then we allow our inner tube on the manifestation river to be weighed down, right? So it's about shifting our focus to, get back in that state of feeling good. How do you want to feel? And you're feeling good. You want to focus on the joy so that you go faster down that manifestation river to bring in beautiful things through yourself, So this card says, I can be a healthy person, a healthy and joyful person, okay? So if you could make a decision to never allow negative emotion to linger within you, and at the same time acknowledge that it is your work alone to refocus your attention in order to feel better, rather than asking someone else to do something different or for some circumstance to change to make you feel better, you'll not only be a very healthy person, but you'll be a joyful person. Joy, appreciation, love, and health are all synonymous, as is resentment, jealousy, depression, anger, and sickness being all synonymous. So it's about understanding that, all of these things are going to kind of happen regardless of, we can't control all of these things, right? We have to be able to flow with that. And we at all times have the ability to choose joy. And so whether or not things are you get a flat tire and all that, sure, it might upset you and you might be late for work and things like that. But at the end of the day, did it really matter? Not really. You're safe and you're happy and you're healthy, or, you got to focus on the good things. What is happening maybe prevented you, you getting that flat tire, maybe it prevented you from getting in an accident. You never know why things happen the way they happen. We just have to trust. And so that leads me to the self-care card. We just have to trust. So trust your decisions. March to the beat of your own heart. And this is a really beautiful card. I really like this. This person seems like they're the symphony. See the violin? And so I feel like it's like the symphony of life. And so allowing ourselves to dance and sing and go with the flow of things, and to not always not always allow ourselves to be weighed down by these external circumstances, right? And that happens when we try to control those external circumstances. So allowing ourselves to flow is understanding that we can't control them, and understanding that we can't control other people, but we can control ourselves. And we can always, 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 in the moment, and always shift our focus to allowing ourselves to choose joy. So when you find yourself having these overwhelming emotions or these thoughts coming in and plaguing you, that's when we have to say, what am I feeling? And identify the emotion. And are there thoughts that are kind of running through my mind to perpetuate that feeling, that feeling that I don't like. And if there is, that's when you have to start to shift your focus. Okay, I choose joy, and how can I get the thoughts flowing to create the feeling of joy? And what can I do right now to change up that energy? Whether it's turning on your favorite song and dancing, or whether it's taking 5 minutes to take good deep breaths, whether it's, a few minutes to do a meditation. For those that haven't had a few minutes to check out my meditation, I did a guided meditation on my YouTube. So if you want to do something like that, for beginners, guided meditations usually do work really well. Because it helps us to stay focused, and so our mind isn't wandering, so that helps. So whatever that looks like for you, if it's about going outside and taking a run and just getting all your aggression and energy out, that's cool too. So whatever that looks like for you. But this is a really beautiful read here that we have for us for Tuesday, July 27th. Again, if you're catching me on Facebook, let me know. Hit me in the comments below. And if you're catching me on YouTube, please don't hesitate to hit the like and subscribe button, because I have really awesome content coming up for everybody. And as always, I hope everybody has an amazing day, and I will be back with another read for everybody again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.